Are you finding yourself having all kinds of strange physical experiences, like maybe heart palpitations in the night? Of course, we are talking about always the anxiety of sleeplessness, but maybe sometimes ringing in the ears that no one else hears, or sudden flashes of insights that are really like major messages for shifting behavior, something to be aware of. Are your synchronicities becoming more frequent? Well, you're leveling up, and here are 3 very important instructions from your angels and guides not to miss as this frequency transition to the 5th dimension and the new you is well underway. My name's Sonia Choquette. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about 3 very important instructions from your guides, from your angels, from your divine teachers to help you continue to not only level up, but stabilize your vibration in a higher frequency and stop getting pulled down in the undertow of the 3rd dimension, which is really wearing people out and messing with their consciousness and completely invalidating or rather disempowering your ability to create. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. Your spirit brought you. It's a vibrational match, and I really hope you get something out of it. And for those of you who are back, welcome back. We are in a collective and very exciting period, and your presence means so much. Your comments are as much teachers as my own channel, and I'm so grateful. So let's do this. So right now we are in an important portal. We are literally being blasted by higher frequencies that have never even been introduced to our galaxy. It's with the beautiful comet that came on October 29th and will be with us again in December 19th. We're in this window where we are being bombarded with a bunch of frequencies that our bodies need, our minds need, our emotions need love and creativity and connection and support and intuition, all the things that have been robbed of us through the frequencies of the 3rd dimension and the beliefs we've been indoctrinated with. However, to take full advantage of this infusion that is coming in on the planet now, there are choices that we absolutely need to make and be disciplined about and really focused on. So the first, and probably in many ways the most difficult, is to get off the news. That is really important because it is a frequency, like a negative vacuum, that keeps pulling you in and stirring you up and threatening you and menacing you and disempowering you by keeping you in fear and agitation and anger and anxiety. So that is an important decision to make. And believe me, this is in no way being in denial of what is going on in the 3rd dimension. But when that news pulls you in and holds you hostage, especially your guides and angels are saying not first thing in the morning, and especially not in the last thing at night, because this is when it goes into your energetic field and possesses you with fear and desire and anxiety and powerlessness. So you really have to make a conscious choice that I'm not going there. You can find your news elsewhere. You can look at periodicals, or you can just listen to what's going on. But you being sucked in doesn't help the world. It only takes your energy, attention, and your vibration and add to the turmoil. It feeds the bear. So that is the most important of the 3 decisions your guides, your angels, and your higher self teachers are asking of you, your creator. That's the first. Now, ask yourself, maybe you already have done that. Maybe you can say, yes, that's right. My energy is 10,000% mine. It's up, it's available, it's good. But if you are in that disturbing vortex, you have to choose to get out. The second decision, and these are three big ones. The second decision is to review your life with neutrality, compassion, and forgiveness, and let the past go. And this is another big one. What keeps you in the third dimension vortex of victimization and powerlessness? Because when you are in that frequency, you cannot manifest. You only keep attracting more of the same. And you are being helped with this huge infusion of light to look at your life, and you might be revisited by incredible memories, some that you are long forgotten and could be enormously emotion agitated. How could that happen? Why did that person do that to me? I can't stand that. This is such injustice. Yes, from the third dimension point of view, all of that is true. But from the fifth dimension point of view, if you lean into it, you can look at it with curiosity, compassion. Not to say anything was easy, but there was benefit, there was lesson, there was opportunity, there were gifts of nothing else but empowerment if you're still here, resilience, creativity, resourcefulness. So it is in a time, very important time, to ask yourself if you can neutralize your reactivity and actually ask your angels and guides to help you. See the gifts. See how it's empowered you. See how every single thing that is unfolded in your life has played an important role in your evolution, in your ultimate empowerment, your capacity. And for some, they say, well, how could I have gone through such horrible things? Quite possibly because you are here to be a guide and a teacher and to help other people find their way out of hell and back to heart. And they won't listen to you unless you can say, I understand what you're experiencing. I've been there. I know for me, many of the very awful things I've gone through, my soul volunteered to experience so that I would have compassion and understanding as I helped people, as my soul came to help people rise and find their way out of that. So perhaps that is why. Maybe it was just a way to become what you're becoming now, a very important and meaningful ambassador, emissary, healer, teacher, guide out of these lower frequencies. So that's the second thing, is reframe what you've gone through. Reframe and investigate what you've gone through and ask your inner teachers, your higher self, your guides to help you. I have a client that I've been working with and mentoring for a couple of years now, really fabulous teacher. She initially came working with animals and had an animal sanctuary, but now she also sees that that was part of learning about and giving herself unconditional love because she went through so many traumas as a child: alcoholism, abuse, violence, physical abuse, suicide, death around her, and that was way too early, family, mental illness, you name it, that was her everyday experience. She said, I first was attracted to the animals and thought I was to be an animal communicator, and that was my purpose exclusively. But now, she said, those animals throughout the entire experience were a source of unconditional love. Well, I went through all these other experiences, and now I see I'm here not to exclusively be an animal communicator, but to teach people how to bond with animals to find their way out of trauma because it gives them access to unconditional love. How brilliant. And I can see now I went through all of that so that I can help people who are in that. And the best part is, she said, having discovered and claiming those gifts, my past is neutral. I don't have any charge on. I'm not trapped there. I'm fully present, fully empowered. And she said, I'm actually happy. This is not a vibration I ever felt growing up or through a whole part of my unhappy marriage, except when I was with animals. Now I'm happy all the time. Big change. So that is the second decision. And the third decision is to acknowledge and really lean into that I am a manifester and that my field broadcasts, and what I broadcast clearly and consistently will come back to me. And what I broadcast all the time does come back to me. So I have to now become responsible, not just for my internal experience, but what I'm broadcasting and how I'm affecting and communicating with the world around me. I have this one person that I know who has had zero luck with actually any relationships, completely absorbed in his own pain, which was considerable trauma, completely absorbed in his own healing. He's definitely done all the steps of self, off and on therapy, not necessarily consistently, gone through some 12-step programs to address addictions, which were a result of trauma, in and out of some creative art classes, even joined some communities. But what he has a complete blind spot on, is that he is not owning that his vibration and what's going on inside is communicating to others and affecting them. He has no consciousness that I am a breathing, walking tornado of energy, and wherever I go, this frequency, which is still quite agitated, self-absorbed, and yes, figuring out what happened to him, but still pretty agitated, pretty judgmental, still quite insecure, which should be met with compassion, is met with impatience, still a lot of isolation, still a lot of go away sign, and doesn't get it. Just irritates him that people aren't connecting with him. But it's like, you don't get that their meeting is not what you have in your head, but what you're broadcasting in your field. So we have to become aware of how we are broadcasting and then acknowledging that it in fact absolutely affects others. And that what they're meeting is not your internal perception of you, but your external energetic broadcast. And not only that's what that people are meeting, it's what the universe is meeting, and it's what it's mirroring. So make those 3 decisions. And the next thing is, okay, well, I need help. I need to up-level. So the first thing I want to suggest is, I've been a teacher, I've been pretty busy, but this book I wrote many years ago is called Uplifting Prayers to Light Your Way. Because I believe that the ego is very interested right now in learning, and the higher self is coming in, but we still have a weakness about asking for help. The power of prayer. As a divine being, we don't have to orchestrate everything consciously, although it is a part of our process. If you're struggling, pray and ask for help and be available. So if you want some guidance, Uplifting Prayers is extremely helpful. The prayers were when I was in my darkest night of the soul, came in and I channeled them while I was walking the Camino de Santiago after my entire life blew apart like an explosion. So those prayers came in to help me, because even though I wanted to grow, I wanted to be a manifester, I was very aware of my power, I was not managing to get out of the vortex of funk. I was suffering. So that prayer book is Transmissions that will help you feel connected to your Creator and the grace and the love of the universe, and will help you come back to love, because love is the source and the essence and the fuel of who we are. And we lost touch with what that feels like, that vibration. To revert back to what I was talking about with my client, animals give you that vibration too, that real unconditional love. And then if you get stuck and you're not real clear what you're broadcasting or what's going on, you can go to this book, which is my brand new book. But it's not really my book at all. It's channeled by my guides, the light beings, whom I've been channeling for quite a while now, 15 or more years. Joachim and the emissaries of the third ray, second octave of love. Now, these are very specific light beings who are here to help us be master manifestors. And they give us 22 lessons to reinvent your life. So this goes back to reinventing. Let the past go. You're not a product of your past. You are a student of your past. And you can reinvent yourself by taking and being empowered. The book Soul Mastery will help you identify exactly where you need to calibrate your vibration up instead of try to think it up. It's very exciting. It's broken down into such excellent pieces. And then, if you really aren't in touch with your inner guidance and intuition, and you really want your higher self to guide you, I recommend, so I am always creating something, I recommend my Trust Your Vibes Oracle, because they're simple messages directly from your higher self, directly giving you instruction on what you need to focus on and adjust. Now think of adjust, because when we say the word change, the ego gets all worked up. And we are being asked by our angels now to adjust to a higher frequency so that we just catapult into the fifth dimension and start actually having beautiful lives. Now, I have another book that I actually don't have here, but in that book it's called The Answer is Simple. Love Yourself, Live Your Spirit. There is a lesson in that book that was also channeled. And I love to share it with you now because I feel like the guides are really encouraging me to do that, which is to ask yourself, how good can you stand it? We are addicted to pain and drama and crisis. It's an adrenaline that courses through our physical body, brain, and veins that we almost crave. I was talking to a client of mine who came to my salon. I teach salons in my home in Paris or London, where I just invite a handful of people into a deep vibrational immersion and what connect with your guides and your master manifesting frequencies and your higher self. And she is going through a very unexpected divorce. She had been in a separation that she thought was working. I got enough distance without the real risk of letting go. Well, in her experience, she observed her estranged husband in a relationship or in an emotional dynamic with another person, and she never expected that. And when she saw it, it shocked her because it mirrored the truth of their situation. He had moved on. And it really shocked her because she moved on, but she wanted him to stay in place. But 2, 3, 4 times she said, I can't unsee what I saw. I can't unsee what I saw. And she was just just watching, reverberating in wave after wave after wave of abandonment and trauma and disappointment. She said, I know on a higher level that this is my liberation, but why do I keep going back and just flooding myself with it? It's like an addiction. It's got some kind of a really dark attraction. And I said, thank you for acknowledging that. It is an addiction to keep re-traumatizing yourself with the old story, with the old experiences and how you interpreted them at maybe a less conscious time, old woundings, because you're feeling, and you might often be in your head, so at least feeling something is better than feeling nothing, even though what you're feeling is pretty much electrocuting you. So we have to be mindful not to be seduced into revisiting trauma, revisiting disappointment, revisiting drama, and instead begin to go to a higher frequency and say, well, I know how low I can go. I know how bad I can stand it. I know how much pride I have in that I've survived, but I don't want pain to be my teacher anymore. The universe doesn't want your teacher to be pain anymore. Can I actually let my life be beautiful? And here's the interesting thing. Going from the gateway of drama and trauma and intensity to a beautiful life is a period where you might have to go through a little quiet. And the ego might interpret that quiet as boredom. Like, oh, I'd rather have the drama and the trauma of feeling my life is in danger over just being with myself. So do ask yourself if you're avoiding that passage of quiet that is essential, absolutely essential to recalibrating your nervous system to a higher frequency. The guides and the angels are saying, please pay attention. These are not easy adjustments, but they are easier than not making the adjustments and keep electrocuting yourself. This is so important right now, so important. So put in the comments the choices you're being asked to make. And can you make them? Have you made them? Have you detoxed from the news, which is just guaranteed to keep you powerless, keep you frightened, keep you demoralized, keep you negative, keep you feeding the negativity machine that's destroying the human connection, or trying to? Can you be very mindful of reframing your history? Can you choose a different takeaway? Can you find the gifts and put them to work and see from a soul level, though this was kind of funky, I learned a lot. And I didn't go through this to suffer. I went through it to understand that the human condition of suffering so that I could find my way and help others find their way out. And then finally, can I accept and really start taking responsibility for the huge frequency broadcast that I put out every day and how it affects others. It affects the planet. It affects other people. It affects my health. But it also speaks to the universe about what you want. So the antidote is I can stand it really much better than I've had it, and I don't need pain as a teacher anymore. And I will be quiet. And I will let my nervous system calm down. And I will allow myself to be assisted by my beautiful guides. Especially your angels, they're here. Especially your light teachers, they're here. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. If this spoke to you, please give me a thumbs up. Better yet, please subscribe. And best, share this with someone so that we can continue to collectively rise. Because, like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world, honest to God. Nothing will be more powerful for you than making these 3 decisions and experiencing that you, in fact, are the change you want to see in the world. Your own life will change. You'll change the lives of others. You'll change the negative cast spell over the planet and start being a very important anchor of our new Earth experience. Okay, everybody, sending you lots of love. Thanks for tuning in. And I, along with my guides, will see you next week. All my love.